You've been doing everything right. You've been losing weight, you feel great, but now your fat loss has stalled. Let's discuss what you can do to keep on losing fat. A lot of times people think they have hit a plateau when they really haven't. So, how do you know if you hit a plateau? Well, the one thing you need when losing fat is a caloric deficit. So if you're not in a calorie deficit, you are not losing body fat. But then people tell me, hey Magda, I am in a calorie deficit. Like, this doesn't make sense. I calculated my calories from this BMR calculator. I've been tracking my calories, but I'm still in a calorie deficit, but you're saying I'm not, so I'm just really confused. I'll come back to say, you are not in a calorie deficit because the numbers that this BMR calculator gave you are not accurate for your body. BMR calculators are just a very rough estimate of what you are burning per day given your age, your height, your weight. They do not take into account any of your history of prior dieting, your exercise history. Well, maybe they do, but they don't go into detail upon it, and they don't even take into account your genetics, which can have such a significant role on your BMR. Absolute number of calories doesn't matter too much. What you want to know is, based on how you are tracking right now, how you can ingest fewer calories so that you can get into a deeper caloric deficit to lose fat. The best way to find out your maintenance calories is to just track your calories for 1 week without changing anything in your diet. Now, once you've tracked every day for a week, you want to add up all of those calories and divide by 7. This will give you your TDEE. I know somebody is going to tell me, but I have been in a caloric deficit, I have been losing weight, but all of a sudden it stopped. So does that mean I'm not in a caloric deficit anymore? Yes. So for instance, if you were 200 pounds and now you are 170 pounds, what has happened is your body mass has decreased. As a result, your metabolism, or the amount of energy that you need to sustain your body, has decreased as well. Larger bodies burn off more calories than smaller bodies just to sustain themselves. So what was a calorie deficit for you at 200 pounds is probably maintenance calories for you at 170 pounds. So anytime you are restricting your calories or just eating less, trying to be in that caloric deficit, your metabolism is going to decrease and therefore decrease the amount of calories that you expend. This is actually a protective mechanism by your body to prevent it from starving by adapting to the amount of calories that you are eating. Your body is actually lowering the amount of calories that it expends by about 10 to 15% when you do go into that caloric deficit. So let's say you've been trying to get into that calorie deficit, you're seeing results, but all of a sudden it stops. Our bodies actually have a tendency to move less the leaner you get to preserve any additional energy. It's actually been shown that NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, so the amount of times that you fidget, so me talking with my hands, me doing like movements, me standing up, that will likely decrease as I get leaner because my body is trying to reduce the amount of calories that it's expending. This is something you need to overcome and be very cognizant of. And it can also be a factor as to why you are hitting that plateau. Sometimes when my clients are in a really deep deficit, we will take a diet break for a week or two, increasing their calories back to maintenance. Keep in mind that your maintenance is not what it used to be, right? It's probably going to be less than where you started from. Just a side note, so that we can take a psychological break from dieting, and perhaps you will lose a little bit more fat because you have a little bit more calories to put towards your resistance training and cardio. What can also help kick you out of that plateau is just simply adjusting your macronutrients, not necessarily the calorie intake, but maybe adjusting the proportion of carbs to protein that you are eating. So maybe increase the amount of protein that you eat while decreasing the amount of carbs, or maybe just adding in a little bit more fiber instead of eating lower fiber foods. This can help you feel more full, more satiated, and adhere to your calorie deficit macros a little bit better. Don't want you to get super fixated on the scale weight either, because you may have undergone a body recomposition, especially if you are weight training and resistance training with intent, as well as adhering to your macros 100%. What can often happen is you're gaining muscle mass while losing fat at the same time. This happens so often with my clients, and to be totally honest, a lot of my clients actually gain weight on the scale, looking a lot better in their progress photos just because they have added a lot more muscle mass and lost fat. Here comes the truth. So now, if you are eating as little calories as you feel comfortable with, you're doing the most amount of activity that you can fit into your schedule, that just will be the weight and the body composition that you are going to have. And to lose more fat or to gain a better body composition requires more of a push or more of a customizable approach to your body, and that's where I come in. So I help my clients give them the push they need in terms of improving their body composition and making sure that they are where they need to be. That's it for me, guys. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye.